computer. Okay, so we're recording. Hi. Hi. So we're going to talk about llamas, and I'm super excited that I have a bunch of friends here who are my llama pals, and I'm super bummed that I don't get to spend, a part of my day every day for the 10 days of fair hanging out with you guys. But so I'm going to ask the main person here to introduce herself, your name, your age, and kind of how long you've been in 4-H and that sort of stuff.
Hi, my name is Allara. I am 15 years old, and I've been doing 4-H for about 4 years now.
And have you always done llamas and alpacas, or were you doing any other type of animal?
It's always been llamas and alpacas. I started doing llamas and alpacas, and I haven't changed since.
And do you show both of them, or do you have a preference for llama versus alpaca?
I do enjoy showing alpacas a little bit more, but that's just because I've had more experience with alpacas. I would like to be able to show a llama in sometime in the future.
Is there a big difference in showing a llama versus an alpaca, either in terms of how the animal works or what you're being judged on?
There actually isn't too much of a difference. The biggest difference I would say would be probably the height. I feel like a shorter animal I can control more because I'm more vertically challenged. But but yeah, that's about it, I think.
And so when you're competing, are llamas and alpacas, are they competing against each other? I mean, or do they only do, people doing llamas separate from doing alpacas?
They're usually combined. There are llamas and alpacas. They're all competing against each other. Like, I don't think it's really separated.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Great. So who do you have behind you?
Okay, so I have my good friend Kira from Chicago here. He is also 15 years old. And then we have Shannon. She's been teaching me all these years. And then we have my mom over on the far side.
Yay! And so you say Shannon's been teaching you all these years. In what capacity? I mean, Shannon's a great person. I have her personally as a friend, but how has she been teaching you? Does she have an official role?
She usually, well, the first couple years, she was right there at my side telling me, this is what needs to happen. You do it this way, and give me little pointers here and there, which was really helpful. And then as the years went on, I figured out the basics, and she'll be there if I ask her to. But right now, I just ask her little things, like, I don't know, she's just been awesome. She's like a teacher. And like almost an aunt to me right now. I think we've gotten really close. So, yeah.
And so which animal, do you show all three of these animals at in 4-H, or do you have one specifically that you tend to work with?
So far I've only ever worked with Jean-Pierre, this alpaca right here. He's been with me the entire 4 years.
And do you own him? Is he yours?
I do not. No, I do not own him. But yeah, Shannon is the one that owns him.
So that's interesting. So to be in 4-H and work with an animal, you don't actually have to own the animal. You can borrow somebody else's animal.
Yes, that is true. I come here probably once a week to train Jean-Pierre.
So you don't live with him, but you see him at least weekly.
Yes.
That's more than some people see their best friend, so that's pretty cool.
Yes, I'm very lucky.
All right, so using Jean-Pierre or whoever you want to use, can you show me what you do? So there's showmanship is the thing at the fair that I always enjoy watching, and usually you guys are all dressed up in black and white and look very fancy. What is showmanship?
So showmanship is where you try to show off your animal to the best of your ability, but the judge isn't judging your animal. He or she is actually judging how well you show your animal. So the judge is watching you and how well you show off the animal you have chosen.
All right. So, and you usually work with Jean-Pierre. So do you want to, can you show me how you might be showing him in the show ring? Is somebody there willing to be a judge or maybe demonstrate what showing might be?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll just show you. Yeah, you'll hold on to JP. And you describe what I'm doing.
Do you want us to start from like the very beginning?
Yeah, that's a good place to start.
Of course. Okay. So we'll walk into the show ring, and usually the animals will walk around in a nice big circle around the judge. And to walk your animal, you need to put your lead rope on your hip. Make sure you have a nice J loop showing off the face. And you're gonna. Yeah, no. You cannot pull your animal. I mean, if you need to, you can, but you'll get points on. And you'll want to make sure you have eye contact with the judge at all times.
Oh, so, and even if they're not looking, if the judge isn't looking at you, you still need to be looking at their ear or the back of their head or whatever.
Yes, of course.
All right, and so it was breaking up a little bit. So the rope that you're holding onto, you, or the leash, you're calling it a lead rope. You were holding it sort of high up. Is that what you're being judged on, or is that to keep the animal's head up? Why are you holding it up kind of high?
Okay. Well, you need to be able to keep a J to make sure the judge knows you aren't pulling your animal. You've trained your animal enough to walk with you.
Got it. All right. So yeah, I didn't hear you before. So you have to keep a J, sort of a loose,
Yes, a nice J loop to show off.
Yes. Okay. All right.
So once you walk around the circle, the judge will ask you to usually stop and then reverse. And when you reverse, you need to make sure you turn yourself away from the animal. You can't pull them towards you like this. That's actually a safety hazard.
Oh.
You need to make sure you put your arm around the neck and turn them around just like this. Wow. And then you keep walking to spin yourself around. And then after the judge has watched you, you've kept eye contact and everything, the judge will usually ask you to line up. She will choose, or he will choose, one animal to start the line. And the animals will all walk up. The first one will come up around and stop. The next one will come up and stop. The next one will come up and stop. And then as soon as you stop, you need to go into quartering. Now, quartering is a little bit, yes, quartering. So quartering is a little bit hard to explain, but so the purpose, thank you. The purpose of quartering is to make sure you are not blocking the view of your animal, because you are still trying to show your animal off to the best ability. So, like I said, as soon as you stop, you're going to make sure that your hand doesn't have, like, make sure the lead rope is not in a loop around your hand. That's also a safety hazard. You need to make sure it's nice and, like, coiled up right here. You can put it into one hand if you want, and then you're going to make sure. They can't see it. Oh, yeah. Okay.
But you can just, it doesn't matter. That's okay. You can try it.
Okay. Let's see. So the easiest way to explain this is probably. So let's pretend Jean-Pierre is going to be in 4 parts. There's 2 parts here, and then there's another line that goes down the middle. So there are 4 sections. So whatever part the judge is in, whatever one of the 4 sections the judge is in, you're going to want to be in the one next to him or her.
Oh.
So let's say the judge is in this quarter. Again, there's this line and this line. So
Okay.
if she is right here in this bottom half quarter, I'm going to want to be in the one right next to her. So I'm going to be in this.
Wow.
And then if she moves around to the other side on that corner, I'm going to have to move to this side.
That makes so much sense. Okay, I've seen llama and alpaca people move all over the place, and it was almost like playing chess. I'm like, what are they doing, and what? And I had no idea it was a big graph. I mean, this is very mathy, and I like math, so this is cool. Okay, so I've learned so much already. So keep going.
So then as a judge, if I moved into this square,
Then I'm going to want to move into this square. But all the while you're doing this, you need to keep your liberal hand on this tip, and you're going to want to continue holding this hand like this, having that J still right there. And yeah, and then you're going to also keep eye contact the entire time.
yeah, do you want to show a little? We'll line them all up so you can see what it looks like, because it's easy when you have just a one person and animal. But what gets really tricky is when you have a line of 15 animals,
Right.
and you have to watch the judge, and they're going to go into each of those 4 squares on your animal, but all the way down at the other end of the show ring. So we'll line them up so you guys can see.
Yeah, because now I'm wondering do you have to move into a section wherever the judge is, even on somebody else's animal?
You want to be the judge? They'll just walk around us. So you can watch how we show with the judge. Kira's going to be our judge, and we'll move around in position based on where she stands.
This is like square dancing, just like with the goats. I love this.
Yeah, I know. No, come up and explain more.
That was cool. So you have to not just be aware of where the judge is in relation to your animal, you have to be paying attention to where the judge is at all times and be making adjustments.
Yes, of course.
Wow. Is that the hardest part of showing? Because to me, that would be really confusing. Although I could see once you kind of got the hang of it, you'd just be dancing around your animal. So is that hard to do?
Oh, yeah. Well, it is at first, but as soon as you get it down, it's like second nature, and you're doing it almost subconsciously. The hardest part of showmanship is probably when the judge, so you're still going to be in a line, right? All of us are lined up and quartering, of course. And when the judge is done walking around us, she's going to come back up and stand in front of all of us. And she's going to ask us one by one to come forward, and she'll ask us a few questions. And for me, that's probably the hardest part of showmanship, because I don't usually understand what the questions are asking, but yes.
So it's the animal part you're comfortable with. It's the pop quiz that you're not so excited about.
Yes.
Yeah, I can understand that. So I did also had a question. When you were initially moving Jean-Pierre around, you were sort of snapping a little bit. So he responds to you just snapping?
Well, sometimes when I'm like making him sidestep or I'm backing him up, it helps to snap so he knows like which side to move farther away from, because I don't think he likes the snapping sound very much. So I use it to my advantage and make him go where I need him to go.
Ah, so you're controlling him by annoying him. Got it.
Yep.
So you said that quartering's become kind of second nature. Do you find yourself doing that when there's no alpaca involved? I mean, are you doing that around the house if like your dad's coming into the room? Because that could be kind of funny.
That would be really funny, but no, thank goodness.
So the judges are looking during showmanship, they're wanting to make sure that they're always able to see your animal, that you're quartering, you're making eye contact. Is there anything else that they're looking for?
Yes, they're looking for clean coats, how well your animal is groomed, and the dress code is also very important. You're going to want to wear black shoes, black pants, a white shirt that's tucked in, and if your pants have belt loops, you need to be wearing a belt. And it also pulls the whole look together if your animal has either a black or white lead rope in. I'm not black. Okay, black lead rope.
Ah,
Yeah.
very cool. All right. I'm trying to think if there's, let's see. So showmanship is a main event that you compete in. What other events do you do with JP at the fair?
There are a couple different ones. There's handler class, which is where you are one-on-one with the judge in a ring, and you show the judge how well you can handle your animal, like showing off the ears, the teeth, how well you can touch your animal, like how far down the body you can go. There is also different kinds of obstacle courses. There are public relations obstacles and then trail obstacles. Those are two different classes. Public relations is there are obstacles like stairs and funny hardwood floors to walk over and bubbles, things you would see out in the open public. And trail obstacles are things like jumping over logs, walking through snake pits with like hoses or things, and walking in pools as well. There's always a pool that you would need to walk through at the very end. Is that about it? Yeah, that's yeah, those are the basics.
So this year, since there's no fair, have you still been working with Jean-Pierre, or are you guys both taking a little break?
We've been taking a little break, but I definitely want to get into the swing of things soon again. I think it would be good for both of us. I also want to try to train. I also want to try to train another animal this year. So I've been talking to Shannon about training one of the other animals for open class, which is not 4-H, but still a great place to show off your skills.
Yeah, open class. I've played around in open class. Basically, that seems to be anybody who's willing to go into the show ring and entertain the masses with their inability to control their animal is allowed in. At least I've basically served as comic relief most years, I think. But so open class, you don't have to be a 4-H person. You don't even have to be a teenager. You can be a parent. You can be just a bystander. You just need to have an animal to work with, I suppose.
I think you can be as young as like 4 or 5. I think as long as you can walk and hold a lead rope, you're welcome in the show ring.
Wow.
So long as you can trust the kid to handle your animal. I've seen a lot of double leads where the parent holds one lead rope and the toddler, the barely walking, holds the other, and they walk through over jumps. That's really cute.
That's so cute. All right, well, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I love JP. He is just adorable, and I can tell he adores you. He's just hanging out with you. He's sniffing you. Yeah.
He's a great little guy.
And how old is he? Do you know?
He would be about 10 right now.
Oh, so he's.
Oh, actually, he turned 10 yesterday.
Oh my gosh! Double digits
Yeah.
for Jean-Pierre.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for doing this. I am so missing being able to hang out in the Llama Greenway at the fair this year, and it's just being able to see you guys and learn about quartering. I mean, that's still blowing my mind. It's just a whole graph, and I just love that. So
Yeah, thank you so much for, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and thank you everybody in the background and Shannon for providing your hi Jan, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Tony. Yeah, special shout out to Lori of Mountain Peaks for letting us use her animals, and to Shannon of Classy Camelids for making this possible.
Thanks,
Yay. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.